Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam. We'll be first trying to understand a little bit about meditation, traditionally what we call as Dhyana. Before we do a little bit of Dhyana also, which I will guide all of you who is attending. Dhyana itself, if you see the definition, it is defined as Saguna Brahma Vishaya Manasa Vyapara. So it is a Manasa Vyapara, means it is a mental activity. That's how it is defined. So at least mental activity means it actually is different from all physical activity. That much is very clear. The mental adjective itself, it is making it very clear. But then mental activity, so many mental activities are there. Even worrying is a mental activity, correct? Without thinking or mental activity, you can't worry about it or you can't become sad. So all these things are also mental activities. But here, that's why the additional adjectives are used, which is Saguna Brahma Vishaya. So here, the mental activity is centered on Saguna Brahma. Saguna Brahma means we can understand Ishvara. Ishvara, who is the Jagat Karana. Ishvara, we have already discussed Ishvara. Even yesterday we saw what is the vision of Ishvara as per the Veda. Ishvara, who is both the Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karana, who is the one who is pervading everything. Our mental activity should be centered on this Ishvara. That is called Dhyaanam or meditation. In this, the important thing we have to understand is first we have to understand the nature of mind itself before engaging in meditation. Now, what is the nature of the mind? If you see, mind is always in a certain flow, correct? It is in a flux, you can say, because it is going from one thing to the other to the other. In fact, nobody can even predict it, how this association happens, because mind is very highly associative and it keeps on jumping from one thing to the other. Nobody can predict that. So, for example, I go to a Shiva temple, let us say, and I go to the temple to be basically thinking about Bhagavan. But I go to a Shiva temple, then I may remember my friend Shiva rather than Bhagavan. Then from that you may remember something else, where you went with your friend. And from there again, your mind will jump to something else, who you met when you went along with them. Then that person you may like or dislike, I don't know. Then that person is invoking some other emotion in you. You feel bitter that you met that person. Or you met somebody who is pleasant and you may feel happy about it. But whatever it is, you can understand that it can jump anywhere. Or I go outside and I see a BMW car. Okay. Then BMW means I think of Germany. Germany means I think of Hitler. Something it can go like this, correct? And you may again feel very bad about all these things. So mind works like that. That is the nature of mind. In fact, that is why even for the mind being like that only, we are all creativity and all is also dependent on that, correct? How the mind imagines things, how it keeps on going from one thought to the other. So that is not something by itself, it's not a problem. Really. That is how mind is. First, we have to understand that it works like that. That's the way it is supposed to be also. There's nothing wrong in that. But when we talk about Dhyaanam, we are saying instead of the mind going like this, correct? And it's more like you just sit, your mind is anyway active, it will go like this. Instead of it thinking whatever it comes, you want to now focus on something. You want to say that the Vishaya, the subject matter of your thoughts should be Saguna Brahma. So in fact, even in Sanskritam, when we further explain this, we say Vijatiya Pratyaya Rahita Sajatiya Pratyaya Pravaha, like that they say. Pravaha means a flow, correct? So again, when I say Saguna Brahma Vishaya Manasa Vyapara, you have one thought about Bhagavan now. You cannot have another after 30 minutes and say it is meditation and all that, correct? So there has to be a certain flow. Flow is also very important. And during the flow, you are trying to keep out all other things which you have anyway previously decided, correct? Now I am going to, my thought process or flow of thought should be only with reference to this. So now I also want to keep away everything else. So that is the important thing there. And why is this kind of a discipline beneficial also, we have to see, correct? Basically here now we are trying to train our mind to focus on one thing. And we are actually trying to put in some effort because its natural tendency is not that. The natural tendency of the mind is something else. It keeps on jumping from one thing to the other. But now I want to create a certain discipline where I want to only focus on one particular thing. And why that is important. And that particular thing is again with reference to Ishvara. Of course, modern day meditation and all, they say that it can be anything. You can even keep on repeating a meaningless sound. Even that may be beneficial. I'm not saying that. Purely from a psychological standpoint, just the ability to focus on any one thing. Some people have a flame, like a lamp or something, and they say you keep looking at it and all that. That is also a kind of focusing on one thing. But it is not just focus also. It can be any Vishaya, but it's not any Vishaya, but it is Saguna Brahma Vishaya also is said traditionally. Then only it is Dhyaanam. So there, why it is said is because during Dhyanam, we also have to appreciate the vision of Ishvara, which is there. Okay, that is also supposed to be beneficial for you, because when we talk about Dhyanam, Dhyanam also is looked upon as a form of prayer in our tradition. It is not just for one-pointedness and all that. And whenever we say a prayer, prayer can be again Vachikam Karma, Manasam Karma, or Kayikam Karma, and like that. Three types we are talking about. So we have elaborate pujas and all that, which even yesterday we perform. Every day we do certain things, correct? Every day you are doing some puja, or you can have a big yajna. Elaborate Kayikam Karma is possible. In Kayikam Karma also, it is not just only physical, correct? Mind and again vocal activity is also involved in that, but mainly physical activity also is involved. Such karma is called Kayikam Karma. Or you are sitting and just chanting like Vishnu Sahasranama or some other, so many chants are there. Vedic chanting also is there. That is all Vachikam Karma. But, and even in that also, mind also is involved. But where the activity is purely mental alone, that alone is counted as Dhyanam. So that means during Dhyanam, we have to keep the activity only in our mind. That is an important thing. Why I am saying this is, many times what happens, the vocal cords will get involved while you are doing Dhyanam. Particularly if you are doing a japa, let us say, like Om Namah Shivaya and all that. What happens is, you may not know that, but involuntarily the vocal cords may get involved, and again your mind will then go out, because mechanically you are still continuing, but mind will then go on to some other thing. That is why it is very important that you keep it as a mental activity. So that we have to be alert. There is a certain alertness is involved in keeping the mind focused on a particular subject matter. So that alertness again is what is very beneficial for us, because when you are able to focus like that and train your mind to think about a certain subject matter, then it is also helpful to you, because most of our problems are there because our mind is not under our mastery. When the mind is not under our mastery means, what I am saying is, it is overtaken by the emotions. And when the emotions are overtaking you, your willpower has no power. In fact, there is no willpower. Okay? There is no, your conscious mind is no more in your mastery, means all your knowledge also is not available. You understand what I am saying? Because only some emotions are flowing through your mind. For example, even anger is an emotion, correct? Everybody experiences anger some point or the other time. But if I tell now, right now you get angry for 30 seconds, can you do that? No, you are all smiling in fact. So I assume that you are not angry. So right now you get angry for 30 seconds means you cannot, because it is not a willful activity. Understand that most of the time when we get emotional, it's not taking the permission of your will or anything. It is happening. Okay. And at that time, you do not have the leisure or space to objectify what is happening in your mind. If you do not have that, you are just flowing along with your emotions, and then you may do something stupid also, because when you are overtaken by your emotions, even your sense organs will not be under your mastery. There is no shama, there is no dhamma. We say shama means you have a certain mastery over your mind, and dhamma means at least you are able to actually, even though mentally you are agitated, you do not show it inappropriately. Inappropriate behavior at least you are not having. Okay, although you are yourself disturbed mentally, but even that is not possible for many people. Correct? They just do something and then later on only you realize, oh, I did this, I became angry, I'm so sorry, all that, and you feel guilty and all that. It's a problem. So basically, it is not a willful activity. That is why, in fact, you should not advise anybody, don't get angry. Okay, it's a useless advice, correct? If it is basically, if it is a willful thing, then I can give you an advice, don't do this, because it is under your control or under your purview of the will of, it is under the purview of your will. But that's why, in fact, many people get angry when you tell that don't get angry, they'll again get angry. Listening to that, I think, because it's only just reminding them their own inability to do anything about getting angry. So we all have experienced all these things. We all have an issue with reference to this, correct? Basically, our emotions are overtaking us. At that time, we are not really having any objectivity towards our mind. Now, this meditation, or basically the meditation, what we are saying is we are developing a certain discipline where we are able to actually objectify our thoughts also, our whatever the mental activity, we are objectifying that and trying to focus on only one thing. So that gives you a certain ability to objectify your mental process, which will be very helpful to you, because even when emotions are overpowering you or trying to overpower you, if you are alert and if you are able to objectify your own emotions, then you can handle that, you can process it. Otherwise, you have no way of even processing your own emotional problems. Everybody has some emotional issue because it's all childhood oriented. Understand that most of the adult problems can be traced to what happened to you in childhood, how you grew up, your authority figures like parents and teachers and all, what did they tell you, how you were disturbed. But whatever happened to a child cannot process it, so it's all still in the mind. Don't think that it has gone anywhere else. And it will come out once you become an adult, once you feel secure, everything will come out. Or if it can be triggered by any event or a situation which again reminds you of whatever happened to you during your childhood. So when such things happen, basically the mind is again getting triggered in the same manner, same kind of emotional disturbance or the emotional activity starts. But if you are able to objectify that, then you can actually process it, because the adult is different. The conscious adult is actually a mature adult. But the unconscious or the subconscious process is of the child, which is an immature child. So you can actually process it if you have a certain objectivity towards what is happening in your mind. So this is a very important thing that way also. So we want to become emotionally mature, means we should have certain objectivity with respect to our own mind. If you don't have that, then you are under the spell of your emotional mind, basically. And all of us, again, emotions are also a privilege, correct? So we can enjoy our own emotions. If we don't have any emotions, then we are as good as a rock, correct? As a human being, emotion itself is not a problem. Like I said, even desire itself is not a problem. They are all privileges which we have to feel love, to feel certain emotions and all. It is also something we can enjoy. You should be able to enjoy your own emotions, but you should not be overtaken or overcome by your own emotions. That is the important thing here. And so only a person who is able to enjoy one's emotion and also not be overcome by that is a mature person. That such a person can then enjoy a certain leisure, inner leisure, which is again very important if you are a student of Vedanta. So all this I am just trying to connect it. So the Saguna Brahma Vishaya Manasa Vyapara, when we say, again the another important thing is, many people say, no, I sit for meditation. Then couple of times you say Om Namah Shivaya, third time it goes, I say, correct, you are not thinking about your friend Shiva. So what do I do now? Means don't worry, that is how mind will work. The definition of this meditation also includes bringing the mind back. Okay, to keep out other thoughts. That's why we say Vijatiya Pratyaya Rahita means, why is it mentioned? Because Vijatiya Pratyaya will come. Vijatiya Pratyaya means what? The thoughts which are not related to whatever you have decided to think about, correct? Other thoughts will come, but you have to keep them out. Means what? There also that's where you are developing your alertness. Because whenever another thought comes, you have no fixed, I am only going to chant Om Namah Shivaya. Then anything else is all Vijatiya Pratyaya or other thoughts. They will come. You cannot avoid it. But if you are alert enough to again bring your mind back to whatever you have decided to chant, let us say. Now that process itself is part of meditation. That is also part of Dhyana. That is how it will be. Because even Bhagavan in the 6th chapter he says, Mano Durnigraham Chalam, he says. Chalam means mind is all the time moving here and there. And it is not difficult. It is Durnigraham means what? It's not easy to control. But then how do I do it? Means you have Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. Everywhere you have to remember this. Everything will come only by practice. And it's not that 1 day, 2 days and all is not enough again. That is why it is part of the Nitya Karma. For us, Dhyaanam is not something you do something fancy or anything. In fact, Gayatri Japa, you are supposed to be initiated even young girls and all, you can initiate them into some bala and many mantras are there. My Guruji used to do that. In fact, he used to say that even if you have Upanayana for the boy, you should have some mantra diksha for the girl child also. And if you initiate them at an young age in this, then it's even easier. Rather than learning meditation and all that as some fancy technique as an adult, if you are able to start from an young age and every day you have the discipline of doing it for some time, that will then benefit you a lot as an adult. So with this small introduction, I hope we will also do some meditation. So again, I also want to give you some relaxation and all that, because basically you are supposed to be in a relaxed state of mind when you do the meditation. Not only state of mind, even your body and all should be, you should feel relaxed. Then in fact, only if your body is relaxed and you are feeling good. Otherwise, if there is a pain here, then your mind is only focusing on that pain, correct? It's not. So you have to first be in a relaxed state physically, and then our mind. So then one more thing which is normally traditionally prescribed is what? Breath. Through the breath only, we are actually trying to also bring the mind under our control, let us say. So that's why even traditionally, before any japa, you have to do pranayama. Pranayama means you chant a certain mantra and you are taking the breath through one nose and you leave it. But while doing that, you are focusing on that. Prana vikshanam also you have to do. You are looking at your own breath means when you do that, you are forcing the mind to focus on something mechanical like the breath. Then what happens? Automatically, it is from all other activity, your mind now focuses on some mechanical activity in your own body. Then it will have a certain focus. It will become calmer. Even if you are agitated or something like that, you first bring your mind, focus it on something like this, some bodily activity, and then start whatever Saguna Brahma Vishaya Manasa Vyapara you want to do. And that Vyapara also is a Punya Karma. Understand? I said it is a prayer. That is because any prayer produces Punya, and that again will help you further in your life. So all these things are there. So we can start something now. I will try to guide you in a simple manner. And I will also help you to do the Manasa Vyapara really as a Manasa Vyapara. For that also we have a technique. How to just to do the Manasa Vyapara means typically we use a mental arithmetic, let us say. When I ask you to do some mental arithmetic, it is purely a mental activity. Nothing else will be involved. And then there you have to then hold on to whatever mantra japa you are doing. Okay. So, and keep on doing it mentally. Don't involve your vocal cords that I already told you, but because that is something which can happen very easily. If that happens, then the mind will then start jumping around all over the place. So try to keep it as a mental activity. Of course, like I said, don't worry if it jumps here and there. Try to bring it back, and that bringing back frequency will keep on reducing as you keep practicing. If you do it every day over a period of time, then you will see that your ability to focus without getting distracted is becoming higher and higher. And we used to have a test in our Gurukulam. You should chant the entire Rudram mentally. Okay. Chanting simple small mantras is easy, repeating it again and again. You take an entire sukta and you chant it mentally, means that whole time your mind should not go anywhere. And sometimes it's difficult. There are tricky phases where similar things will be there. You may again go back somewhere. Suddenly you will find you don't even know where you are. So, but that's all part of the thing. Okay, that means your mind is so alert for that entire duration of 10 minutes or 15 minutes, let us say. If you are able to chant the Rudra entirely in your mind, then you have accomplished something. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. So anyway, let us start now. You can sit whichever way is comfortable, or in a chair or wherever it is.
Chair also, right?
Anything. I don't want you to have any physical problem while doing dhyana, correct? Wherever is comfortable, or if you want a back support or something, you take that. So don't feel that I am sitting like this means I am used to sitting like this. Not everybody here are used to even sitting on floor, cross-legged and all that. So I don't expect you to be like that only. Whichever is comfortable, you take a comfortable posture. But if you are sitting down, you can sit either like this or this kind of. Also, this Ardha Padmasana also is good for many people. This also is good. Okay, it gives a good support and it keeps you naturally your spine straight. Correct, because Bhagavan says Samam Kaya Shiro Grivam. That is one thing said in the Gita when talking about dhyana. He says keep your head, okay, body and the neck, head, neck and body in one line as much as possible. So, and you can sit also sitting also he says Chaila, Kushottaram and all that. Yes, but so normally don't sit on this like a floor where this chillness is there and directly you should not have contact with the earth. Many people give many reasons and all that, but that's what Bhagavan has said. We can follow that. You don't have to worry. So something like this. So in fact, I'm thinking yes, today I'm having like that. See, I'm having grass. This is what Bhagavan said, correct? And even some cloth like this. It's good. You can have. You are all sitting on something is there below you. That is good. So you sit, try to keep like this, and hands also keep comfortably, whichever way is comfortable. This is a comfortable posture for many people. You can keep like this. This is a good way to sit, correct? And don't put any pressure on your back. Whichever is very comfortable for you, you have to be like that. Sit like this. And then, even when you close your eyes, you can try to focus. Nasikagram, Swam Nasikagram, this also Bhagavan says. Focus on the tip of your nose. Even when you are closing your eyes, let your two eyes be relaxed. Eyes also should not have any pressure, but in a relaxed manner, just as though you are seeing the tip of your nose. Okay, focus there. And many of you may even get some feeling here, which is good. In fact, that helps you to focus better. You get a certain feeling on your forehead when you are just relaxed and you focus here. That's very good. And keep your breath steady, slow and steady. Keep breathing. Now just focus on your legs and see that your legs are relaxed. And this relaxation is further flowing through your calf muscles and your thighs. Your entire bottom part of your body is completely relaxed. And feel your abdomen, stomach. They are all now relaxed. And then this relaxation is further going up into your chest area, your shoulders, your arms, and fingers, your wrist, all are now relaxed. In your neck, feel very relaxed in your neck. And then your entire face also just feel relaxed. Completely you have to be relaxed physically. You can focus on each organ in your body and just consciously feel the relaxation there. So once you are relaxed like this, now just for the next couple of minutes, just focus on your breath. Slowly you breathe in and breathe out. Keep your focus on your breath. Keep watching your breath. Keep watching your breath. Take deep, slow breaths. Now, just do a mental arithmetic. I'll tell you. You add 100 plus 50 minus 75, add 25, that, and I will get the result. So this entire mental arithmetic is purely a mental activity. There, start chanting Om Namah Shivaya. Keep chanting Om Namah Shivaya. Exclusion of all other thoughts. Purely a mental activity, no involvement of your vocal cords. Shivaya. Shivaya. focus on the meditator. Keep continuing the chant. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. You are the conscious person. The mental activity is becoming evident. The mind is continuing to chant Om Namah Shivaya. Whatever is happening in your mind is evident to you. You are that conscious being. All your bodily sensations, all the thoughts in your mind, they are all becoming evident to you, the conscious being. You are that conscious being who is seeing everything. Whatever you see, whatever becomes evident to you, is an object of your cognition. You are just the conscious being who is different from all the objects which you cognize. Just be this simple conscious being. Everything becomes evident. Continue chanting Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. When all other sounds are helping you to focus on Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Sit comfortably. Continue chanting in your mind. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. All bodily sensations are also helping you to focus on chanting Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. So we can open your eyes and wake up. This was just demonstration so that you can around 20 minutes. I think we did. It's a good amount of time. I think most people can't sit more than this. So if you are able to even sit for 15, 20 minutes like this, then it's good enough. That will help you. Maybe if you have time, you can do both in the morning and in the evening. And if you are able to sit for 48 minutes, one muhurta, then you have what they call as asana siddhi. You are able to sit in one posture in one place for 48 minutes. It's very easy, but sometimes it's not very easy also. When you sit and sit without moving anywhere for 48 minutes in a place, then you have a certain accomplishment. You can take it like that, but that's okay. Even if you are able to do it for 15 minutes or 10 minutes to start with, you do like this. You can also count. Some people count. You can have a mala because that activity also it helps you to focus on the chant, because if you are moving means you have completed one chant. Then even if your mind is going somewhere else, then you cannot count it, correct? Then the very counting action also helps you to focus on the japa and whatever you have decided to chant. If you don't have a japa mala, we typically count like this. Traditional counting is you start from here. Okay? This wedding, whatever is there here, you start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then again 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So you count 20 like this. Again, continue. This is how we count traditionally. This is how we were taught when I was given Yajnapavitam and told to chant Gayatri. We were told to count like this. This is how traditionally we count. So as I told you, counting also you can do. In fact, if you are doing some japa for particular purpose, that somebody has told you do it for 100,000 times. Or normally, when you are doing some mantra japa, you have, for example, Gayatri has 24 matras, 24 syllables. Now you have to chant for one syllable 100,000 times. Means 24 lakhs you have to chant times. Then only that mantra, we call it Purascharana, means you have completed chanting it. Okay. But if you are chanting some smaller mantra like Om Namah Shivaya, which has only 5 matras, then you have to correspondingly increase it. So Om Namah Shivaya means 1.2 crores you have to do, because it is 24 by 5 into 24 lakhs you have to do. So like that, so many times. So those who do like that, counting is important for them. You have to, normally they say that any japa you do, you have to count. But counting also is helpful in making you focus on whatever you have decided to focus on. So that way, counting is good. You can count. So I think if you have any questions now about this Dhyaanam, we will take a couple of questions. Then we will move to the next session. Yeah.
The mental counting part we can catch it.
I couldn't hear it. In the last part, you
Oh.
said about the counting.
Just let me find, I think, where I got.
Correct, that's all. The idea was not to do anything. Basically to make you do some arithmetic so that it's purely you are focusing on you are doing a mental activity, correct? Always mental arithmetic is purely a mind activity. No other, your vocal cords or none of your other bodily things are involved. Once you do that, then you are only doing a mental activity. Right? Then you start chanting from there. That is the idea. That's all. So it's not whatever I said also is not very important. Or whether you did the arithmetic correctly or not, don't worry. Hopefully you would have done it correctly. It's a simple arithmetic only. But the idea is that to make you free from either your breath and your own vocal cord activities, you do that. And then the japa is supposed to be purely a mental activity, and then you continue doing that. Then it is effective. That's what is the idea. So that I think you got it. Counting, I told you, you start like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you go back again: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like this, 20. Normally, if you do 108, then 5 times you do like that, and up to 8 you count. Then 108 will be over. Okay. So we do like that. Or if you have a japa mala and all, you can do the mala, you can rotate. That is also good enough. Many times we don't have any mala and all. So this is how traditionally they teach us to count. Maybe there is something in all this also. They say that when you move your fingers like this, also helpful for you. But that is I don't have any proof for that. Okay. I'm just telling whatever received wisdom. That's all.
It's easy if I have something in my mind to concentrate, right? If not having something to concentrate and just doing the poetry to concentrate. That's where the mind starts moving. If I have an idea, figure or something that I have.
Correct. That you can visualize. Sometimes all that will come automatically to you. You only focus on the sound. Then some. So if you are already a bhakta, then your Ishta Devata will come. Those things and all, some vision and all will come, but don't worry about all that. That is okay. In all that is only basically the whole. For a Vedanta student, meditation is only to even objectify your own mind. That is the important thing. So all your thoughts also are nothing but an object of your knowledge or object of your cognition. It's all becoming evident to you. And whatever is becoming evident to you is not you. Okay? It's not you really. Whatever I see is not I. So that is where you have to also, that means you are now meditating on the meditator. That's what we say. Vedantic meditation is all about, you start with all this japa and all that. That gives you a certain ability to focus your mind. Then what? Finally, we meditate on the meditator. What is the swarupa of the meditator? Meditator is simply a conscious being to whom everything becomes evident. And the one to whom everything becomes evident, that person is not the same as the objects which are becoming evident. But there is an identity. That is where the whole problem is, correct? So we are trying to get out of that identity by focusing on the meditator who is a conscious being. That is the thing about this. So you can, all this you have to do over a period of time. No, it's not just one day. One day I have come and I have just taught you something, but you can just take it up and do, set aside some time every, preferably early morning, you take bath and then do. That's the best time. Or in the evening again you freshen up and you do. Don't do lying down. You have to do it. Sitting posture is recommended. There's even a Brahma Sutra on that. It's even discussed
Uh,
that you have to sit and do meditation like that. There is a sutra is there. So do it sitting because basically we don't want you to fall asleep. Meditation also is relaxing, but you just enjoy the relaxation without falling asleep. Preferably always sit, but sitting again, if you are not used to sitting on the floor, sit wherever is comfortable for you. Okay, that's the thing.
Gurudev Pranam, I have one question. I am Mukesh. So, whether it should be concentrated between the eyebrow and Agni Chakra with the on nose?
Can you repeat that? We are not able to hear slowly.
Actually, the concentration during the meditation between the eyebrow, that means the concentration towards the Agni
Of the
Chakra,
nose.
maybe the on nose.
Tip
Yeah,
of the
nose.
nose. You
Yeah,
see the,
yeah.
you close your eyes and then the position of the eyes should be such that you are seeing the tip of your nose. That's
Okay.
all. That is the relaxed. Basically, to keep your eyes also relaxed, even if you have closed your eyes, just keep it relaxed and focus there. That is the natural.
What's the time? What's the timing of meditation? Is it 21 minutes or 48? What do you?
Whatever you are comfortable initially, you do that, but you can keep on increasing it. But if you have achieved 48 minutes, then it is an accomplishment. That's what I'm giving you a goal now. Can you do it for 48 minutes? Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
And it's called asana. If you are able to sit in one posture for 48 minutes, then good. Do something.
You have any question? Any others questions? Okay.
Guruji, what will happen if you fall asleep during meditation? Is that a bad sign? What can you do to prevent that?
It's not essentially bad. In fact, some people initially, see, even during our 3-year course, every day we used to have meditation from 6 to 6:30 in the morning, or 6:30 to 7, sorry, 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. Some people will fall asleep. Early morning, we go to the temple, finish everything, come back and do meditation. But that's okay because basically you will require some relaxation, that means. But over a period of time, meditation is for you to be alert of your mental processes, correct?
Yes.
We don't want you to fall asleep, means basically you are not alert anymore.
Correct.
So,
Okay.
but if you still fall asleep, don't worry about it. That will go away after some time. Or you choose a time where you are fresh. You should not choose a time where you are falling asleep. Really. It
Okay.
also depends on the time of the day and all that, correct? Or how tired and all that. So always choose a. That's why I said you take a bath and then you have to do meditation. Don't do meditation. You get up in the morning or like if you have not taken a bath and all, don't do. Always take a bath. That helps you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank
Never-
you. Guruji, also sometimes, I feel very cold when I'm doing it. Like it's almost like shivering. Why does that happen?
I think that's a reaction of your body. Maybe when you are getting relaxed, you are feeling cold. But if it is happening all the time, maybe then we have to look into that.
Okay. Thank you, Guruji.
Because the blood flow is not somehow proper. Maybe you should then choose some other posture where your blood is flowing properly. I think this coldness and all can come, some chilly feeling can come if sometimes the blood flow is blocked in either your legs or somewhere, correct?
Oh.
So that means you have to take care of that really.
But that doesn't mean you're transcending a different plane and going somewhere. As people say all sorts of things with this bodily changes, right?
Yeah. That's a different thing. Certain things can happen. This is, I think, it's related to prana only. Prana has to flow properly, means the blood flow also has to be proper. So we try to keep the prana. That's why the shower and all also we are saying is that prana will then. See, when you get up in the morning, your prana is not in an equilibrium. So you are feeling somewhat all the sleepy and all that. Correct? So to bring us at an equilibrium, once you take a shower and all that, the prana then flows in an equal manner everywhere. And then you have a certain alertness and all that. It helps.
Thank you, Guruji.
Yeah.
Namaste Guruji, this is Sriram. I have a question. How do we know we are on the right track in terms of if we are doing it regularly, especially when we are doing it by ourselves?
If you are able to focus on the same thing, correct, for a period of time without any distractions, that's what I said. The main thing about meditation, Dhyaanam, is that bringing back your mind is the important part in it. But how frequently you are bringing back your mind? That frequency, if it keeps on reducing, means then you are able to one pointedly focus on whatever you have chosen to. Now that means you are on the right track. And if you are able to do it for 48 minutes, then you have reached a certain accomplishment. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji.
I would say that I have to focus on my breathing for that 4 to 15 minutes. There's certain kind of breathing that I'm required to do. Because when I start focusing on my breathing starts becoming more not at ease breathing. So if I'm not focused.
So you don't have to focus throughout on the breathing. The breathing focus is only initially. You relax your body, then focus on your breath for a couple of minutes. That is an aid for your mind to become calm. Okay. Because when the mind is focusing on something mechanical, some mechanical activity in your body, then it's not able to think about other things. So it calms down. And then we do the Dhyanam. During the entire Dhyanam, you don't have to focus on your breath. Basically, you have to focus on the mantra only, right? Whatever we are chanting. That should be your focus.
Okay.
But initially we say, so traditionally also I said that 10 times we do the pranayama. So 10 times you focus on taking a breath in, leaving the breath out. That cycle you do for 10 times you focus. By the time your mind would have become calm. And then you do whatever japa you do. Okay.
Mantras have swaras, right? In some mantras. So
No, swara is not important in japa.
japa is swara.
In Dandavat only we do. But sometimes it happens, if you know the swara already, it will come. Don't worry about that too much. Mantra japa, swara is only when we chant, swara is important. But I was telling you that Rudram and all, if you are mentally chanting, then swara will automatically come because you cannot escape that. We have learned it that way, correct? Whatever you have learned with swara, that will be there. But otherwise, simple mantra japa, there is no swara concept there.
While doing japa, I'm chanting, something inside without upams, not even upams. Should I focus on the akshara and the bhava as I'm going through each word and letter of it? That is vicharana. Is that what I should be doing when I'm chanting? The vicharana.
Vicharana will happen again. See, that's what. Initially, the idea is to get a certain alertness and one-pointedness. Then what do we do? That's why I said, then your focus is on the meditator, I said that the Veda. As a student of Vedanta, when we do Dhyanam, it's all Nididhyasanam, because already you have done Shravanam, you have certain knowledge. Now that knowledge only we are trying to recollect, contemplate on that. So even Gayatri mantra will become different. It becomes an Nididhyasana, it becomes Mahavakya. So from that mantra japa being a prayer, it becomes its meaning is, then you can focus on the meaning also while the japa is happening. That happens in fact. You don't even have to make an effort.
How important is Yamaniyama for the Dhyana?
Very important, because a person who is seriously working with this Yama and Niyama and all only will have a conflict-free mind. Correct? Otherwise, you are going to be conflicted, and you will not have the certain equanimity with reference to your emotions. That's why all those will start from there. Why even Patanjali has to talk about Yama Niyama? Because the physically also you have to have discipline, correct? You start from there. Those disciplines will help you, and also if you are leading a life of dharma, means your conflicts are less. You are not conflicted, and other emotions are not going to affect you. Then it is easy to do dhyana. We will end with the prayer.
Yes.
Om swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam न्यायेन मार्गेण महिमहिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
Thanks.